Well, I know you normal people are done planting, but at 99 cents a flat, I couldn't resist these. I've got all these containers down here that didn't get planted. So any place that I need color, I'm adding these begonias. Not my favorite flower, but again, for this price and to get some instant color and last another 6 weeks, let's do it. Well, in real time, that took 10 minutes. And I'm not sure about the location of the containers. I might move them around, but I think that looks pretty good. My little sea of red for $2. All right, got something else to show you in the veggie garden. You know, if I was planting these in the spring, I would have given them more room between the plants, but since we only have this short time, I stacked them in there really close together, and I think that's the best thing to do this late in the season. So the vegetable garden has definitely evolved over the years. I've got a lot of flowers in here now, and this bed at the very edge doesn't get much sun, and I've turned it into what we call a nursery bed, and it's an important part of gardening. I've got some azaleas sitting here that have been sitting here from last spring. It's a place to put plants until you're ready to put them in the ground. And I got these carrier shrubs for almost nothing, and they're going to do better off if I just put them in the soil, see if I can get them to catch, and then either at the end of this season or the beginning of next, I will put them into their permanent place. And since this bed is so nicely improved with compost, it is a good spot to put them. And so we're just going to dig some planting holes, stick them in, and hope for the best. And as I add plants during this season, when they're almost giving them away again, I'll throw some stuff in here until we get to that cool weather, mid-September, that I can get them in the ground. Or in this case, I might let these over winter, especially when it looks like that. But if they start to sprout, I'll move them. Okay. Did I scare you, Max? And they don't have to be the normal distance apart, just kind of heeling them in here to see if we can get them to come back. I feel like a real nursery man. Almost. You know, we're kind of in a lull in the action here this time of the season, but I am still planting lots of seeds. Anywhere I have extra room, I'm putting some seeds in for cool weather crops like we did last week. And when I'm done here, I want to show you what we planted last year has already come up, and that's going to take us all the way into winter. And these will too. All right, you guys need to sprout. I'm going to get some water on these, and then we'll take a look at those seeds. If we leave these on, we are a real nursery man, right? Our tatsoi has sprouted. That is exciting. We will be picking this, like I said, all the way through winter. Well, one thing I learned accidentally a few years ago, this is Tithonia. When it is supported, it'll grow like these, 8 feet tall. But if you just let it, one or two, kind of flop over, it makes this kind of low-growing shrub. And in a week or two, this is going to be covered in orange flowers. Take a look at the tall one, though. It's a great pollinator plant. Well, every time we pass through this overhanging basil, we get the aroma of this wonderful herb, and that's what summer's all about. Statues are a big part of my garden. I love to have them throughout the landscape. Whenever I do a garden consult, I'm always looking for a spot to put a statue as a focal point that draws you to a part of the garden, but not all mine are pristine. It's kind of a Roman ruins out there. I buy them cheap, glue the head back on. Sometimes there's no arms, whatever it might be. And here's an example of that. The wing on this angel is knocked off. This is a nice clean break here, and all I'm going to do is glue them together with this stuff called goop. This is what I use. It's just a type of glue, and it works great for cement. And this one, I've already tested it, will stand up on its own. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that goop on here and put her back up on here. And when we get this in the garden, after this dries, you'll never know the difference. Well, you'll barely know the difference. I'll put the feet underneath some pachysandra or something, so you won't see the edge. All right, here we go. And we just kind of work that in there. And as long as nobody comes by and the wind doesn't blow, in a couple hours we'll be ready to go. Okay, let's finish up. Always looking for bargains. One job we didn't talk about that I'm doing a lot of is fertilizing containers, keeping them happy till the end of the season. Now be sure to check me out online. Lots of great gardening information there. You can find out how to join my Seed of the Month Club, how to come to Portugal with me next spring. And until next week, boy, we've got more to do than you could possibly imagine. We're going into a great part of the season. Don't stop planting. We'll see you next week.